I often wonder what it is that makes a place truly unique. Is it the buildings that provide shelter for its people, or the bridges that connect the lands across waters? Is it the trees that serves as a source of food for the preservation of life, or the ground upon which many have been born and many more have been buried? What really is it that truly makes a place unique? Maybe it is the spoken language that ensures communication is possible, or perhaps maybe it's the people themselves. Even though I have traveled across many lands, these and many more are the questions I often ask myself. These same questions formed the thoughts in my head as I navigated the streets and canals of Amsterdam before finally getting on a train headed for Brussels, the capital city of Belgium. Stick with me on this journey, and just maybe together we will discover the answer to the age-long question of what makes a place unique in Brussels. I arrived Brussels at the Midi station, then stepped into the streets to inhale the natural air of Belgium, and I received the smell of a pleasant welcome. I then took a moment to look around, letting my eyes gaze freely from one corner to the other. I was pleased with the sights, and I couldn't agree less that every place on earth has its own unique beauty. I immediately walked to my hotel, the Euro Capital Hotel, which was a mere 3 to 5 minutes walk from the train station. I got the hotel on booking.com for €100, and I settled for this option due to its proximity to the train station. The room was basic, but it had everything I needed for my short stay, with a window view that encourages one to look outside. I subsequently took a short nap to prepare for the task ahead, then stormed the streets of Brussels at sunset to explore it in my usual fashion. I checked for the best places to have dinner on Google, and I got a few recommendations, but I opted for a place called Fin de Secours, which was approximately 21 minutes walk from the hotel. I was surprised to meet a queue outside the restaurant when I arrived, and I couldn't help but wonder the kind of delicacy they offered that attracted that much people. I joined the queue and waited for close to 15 minutes before they could get me a seat, and I ordered for the in-house special. From the restaurant, I took a 5 minutes walk to the Grand Place, my very first tourist attraction. The Grand Place is the central square of the city and one of the very popular places to see in Brussels. It is surrounded by opulent guild houses, a flamboyant city hall, and the neo-Gothic styled Maison de Rue, which translates to the King's House in English. This collection of historic buildings with decorated facades that tells a story of historical significance sits on a completely paved area that is approximately 68 by 110 meters. Construction of the square was completed by the 17th century, but it suffered massive destruction during the bombardment of Brussels by the French troops in August of 1695 at the height of the 9 Years' War of 1688 to 1697, which eventually led to several years of massive reconstruction of the square, resulting to the Grand Place as we have it today. The most iconic building within the Grand Place is the City Hall. Its facade is decorated with numerous statues, and its tower is 96 meters high, narrowing into a lavish octagonal pinnacle that houses a 2.7-meter statue of St. Michael slaying a demon. The Grand Place is considered one of the most beautiful squares in the world, and it has been classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1998. The Royal Gallery of St. Hubert, which is an ensemble of 3 glazed shopping arcades that consist of the King's Gallery, the Queen's Gallery, and the Prince's Gallery, is just a minute away from the Grand Place by foot. The galleries were designed and built between 1846 to 47, and it was probably the inspiration for similar 19th century shopping arcades in Milan and St. Petersburg. This building has many famous shops, and it is home to the Royal Theatre of the Galleries, as well as the Museum of Letters and Manuscripts. From the gallery, I took a 6-minute walk to another tourist attraction of Brussels. I walked to the Manneken Pis to view the little pissing man. This is a bronze sculpture of about 55 centimeters, which some claim to be a symbol of virility and masculine bravado, but I can't verify such claims. There are several legends around the sculpture, all centered around a peeing boy who either used his urine to stop a fire or disarm a bomb planted during the war. The Manneken Pis has been reportedly stolen several times, and in 1965, the original sculpture was moved to the Brussels City Museum, while a replica is on display in its current location. There were other places I had planned to visit for the night, but my phone battery was draining faster than I anticipated, so I used what was left of it to navigate back to my hotel to avoid getting lost. I woke up the next morning with renewed energy and vigor. I hopped on a taxi for a 20-minute drive to see the famous Atomium structure. The Atomium, a landmark structure which was originally constructed in 1958 as the centerpiece of the Brussels Expo 58 World Fair, now serves as a museum, an art center, and a cultural destination. The Atomium, which is approximately 102 meters tall, consisting of 9 spheres of 18-meter diameter, interconnected with several 3-meter diameter steel tubes, is the atomic structure of a single iron crystal, magnified 165 billion times. Of its 9 spheres, only 6 are accessible to the public. The spheres are used mainly for exhibitions, and they can be accessed either by stairs, escalators, or an elevator. The Atomium got its name from the combination of the words atom and aluminium, the material originally used to clad the spheres, but the structure received a detailed renovation from 2004 to 2006, and all the aluminium sheets have now been replaced with stainless steel. I enjoyed the views of Brussels from the topmost sphere, and I had no regrets getting the tickets last minute to gain access. There are several things to see within the Atomium, but I consider the display of light and sound as the most spectacular. Apart from the Atomium, there are other attractions within the Atomium Square. From the Atomium, I walked for approximately 7 minutes to the Design Museum of Brussels, which is a museum opened in 2015 with a focus on the exhibition of design works from the 20th and 21st centuries. The Design Museum has several modern designs in its exhibition, and I tried to go through its collection within the little time I had left to spare. Design Museum, here we are. Having a good time? Yes, we are. From the Design Museum, I walked for another 10 minutes to Mini Europe, a miniature park that contains reproductions of monuments in the European Union and other European countries on a scale of approximately 1:25. The park was opened in 1989, and it has a collection of roughly 350 reproduced monuments from about 80 cities that attracts approximately 350,000 visitors annually. My 24 hours exploration of Brussels finally came to a beautiful conclusion. Thank you, Brussels, for being so good. Bye, Brussels. I strode from my hotel to the train station to catch a train headed for another European country. Every city is unique, and without a doubt, I enjoy the uniqueness of Brussels. I sincerely hope this has brought you some value, and if yes, kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I have a habit of not saying goodbye, but instead I simply say see you later. So as this train heads to the next city, feel free to guess its destination in the comments, and I hope to see you again at the next terminal. Thank you, and see you later.